Congrats are in order for Terrence J. and Mikalah Sultan, two souls whose love story has blossomed into a union that captured hearts across the world. What began as a quiet spark between two ambitious dreamers has now transformed into a beautiful chapter of eternal commitment. The couple officially tied the knot in a luxurious, love-filled wedding in Dubai, surrounded by family, close friends, and a few familiar faces from the entertainment world who gathered to witness not just a ceremony, but a moment of destiny fulfilled. For Terrence J., whose life has always been in the spotlight, this moment wasn't about fame or fortune. It was about something far more profound: love that stood the test of time. Over the years, he has built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most charismatic hosts and actors. Yet behind the flashing lights and the polished interviews, there was always a part of him quietly yearning for someone who could see beyond the fame. That someone turned out to be Mikalah Sultan, a woman whose grace, intelligence, and quiet strength captivated him in ways no red carpet ever could. Their story began in what many would call fate's perfect alignment. It wasn't an introduction orchestrated by agents or mutual celebrity friends. It happened organically. Two paths crossing at an event neither had planned to attend, both arriving late, both finding themselves at the same table by sheer coincidence. Terrence would later say that the moment he saw her smile, something inside him shifted, as if the noise of the world faded for a moment, and all that remained was her laughter. Mikalah, on the other hand, remembered the warmth in his eyes. She had seen charm before, but this felt different. It wasn't performance, it was sincerity. They exchanged a few words that evening, the conversation flowing naturally. Terrence was drawn to her energy, calm yet radiant, confident yet humble. Mikalah, too, found herself intrigued by his authenticity. Despite his fame, he carried himself with a down-to-earth spirit. That night turned into many more. Long conversations that stretched into the early hours, phone calls that became daily rituals, and moments of silence that felt as comforting as music. As their relationship deepened, they found strength in understanding. Both were driven individuals with busy schedules, yet they never allowed distance or fame to dull their connection. Terrence admired Mikalah's independence. She wasn't defined by who she was dating, but by who she was becoming. She had her own dreams, her own career ambitions, and a quiet fire that inspired him to be a better man. In her, Terrence found peace. In him, she found safety. Their love wasn't rushed. It evolved naturally. Friends often describe them as a power couple, not because of their public image, but because of how they handled life behind closed doors. They supported each other through challenges, celebrated each other's wins, and remained grounded in gratitude. Terrence once said in an interview, "Love isn't about who's watching, it's about who's standing with you when no one else is looking." That statement reflected everything he had learned through the years in the entertainment industry. And Mikalah embodied that truth for him. When Terrence decided to propose, he wanted it to be something intimate yet unforgettable. He chose to do it during a private trip to the Maldives, one of their favorite destinations where they had often escaped to unwind. The proposal wasn't extravagant or publicized. It happened at sunset, with the sound of waves crashing gently against the wooden deck of their villa. Terrence got down on one knee and told Mikalah how she had redefined his understanding of love. There were tears, laughter, and a moment of stillness that felt eternal. She said yes, her voice trembling with emotion. And just like that, a new chapter began. When it came time to plan their wedding, the couple wanted something unique, something that reflected their personalities and the depth of their connection. Dubai, with its mix of luxury, culture, and breathtaking landscapes, became the perfect destination. The city represented a meeting point of worlds, modern yet timeless, elegant yet vibrant. It was everything their love symbolized. The preparations began months in advance. Terrence, ever the perfectionist, worked closely with the wedding planners to ensure every detail was flawless, while Mikalah focused on creating an experience that felt meaningful rather than simply grand. Together, they chose a desert resort on the outskirts of the city, surrounded by golden dunes that seemed to stretch endlessly beneath the soft glow of the sun. It was an oasis of serenity, private, romantic, and magical. Guests began arriving days before the ceremony. Friends from the entertainment industry, family members flying in from across the globe, and a few close confidants gathered under the shimmering skyline of Dubai. The air buzzed with excitement as rumors spread that this would be one of the most elegant celebrity weddings of the year. Still, Terrence and Mikalah remained humble, focusing not on the spectacle, but on the sanctity of their vows. The night before the wedding, they hosted a pre-ceremony dinner, a warm, intimate gathering where laughter and stories flowed freely. Anthony Anderson, one of Terrence's longtime friends, shared a heartfelt toast, recalling their early days in Hollywood and expressing how proud he was to see his friend find true happiness. The evening was filled with music, gentle desert breezes, and the scent of jasmine candles that lined the courtyard. Then came the day itself, a day that felt almost unreal. The desert sunrise painted the sky in hues of gold and pink, and by late afternoon, the venue was transformed into a dreamscape. Soft fabrics swayed in the breeze, white roses adorned every corner, and crystal lights sparkled like distant stars. Guests took their seats as anticipation filled the air. Terrence's entrance became one of the most memorable moments of the day. T.I., a close friend of the groom, made sure it was nothing short of iconic. As the music began, T.I. performed live, creating a rhythm that perfectly matched the energy of the moment. Terrence walked down the aisle in a custom-tailored white suit, his confidence radiating, but his eyes remained fixed on one person, Mikalah, and then she appeared. Mikalah stepped into view, her gown shimmering under the setting sun. The dress, designed by a renowned fashion house, was a masterpiece, elegant yet understated, with intricate embroidery that caught the light like liquid gold. But it wasn't the gown that stole the show. It was the emotion in her eyes. Every step she took toward Terrence was a step toward forever. As the ceremony began, Anthony Anderson took the role of officiant, his voice filled with warmth and humor. He spoke about love, friendship, and the beauty of choosing someone every single day. His words drew laughter and tears in equal measure. When Terrence and Mikalah exchanged vows, time seemed to pause. Their words weren't rehearsed or poetic for the sake of it. They were real, vulnerable, and deeply moving. Terrence spoke about the way Mikalah had taught him patience, compassion, and faith. Mikalah spoke about how Terrence had become her home, no matter where they were in the world. When they sealed their vows with a kiss, cheers erupted. The golden light of the Dubai sunset framed them perfectly. Two hearts intertwined beneath the endless sky. It was a moment that felt larger than life, yet beautifully human. The reception that followed was a celebration of love, laughter, and culture. Guests were treated to a fusion of cuisines, blending Middle Eastern flavors with American favorites. T.I. took the stage again, followed by surprise performances from other artists who had flown in to celebrate the couple. The dance floor came alive under a canopy of lights, and everywhere you looked, there were smiles, embraces, and pure joy. Terrence and Mikalah shared their first dance to a soulful live rendition of All of Me, the lyrics resonating deeply with their journey. They moved gracefully, lost in each other's presence, as the crowd watched in quiet admiration. Later, Anthony Anderson joked that he'd never seen Terrence so speechless, a rare sight for someone known for his quick wit.